Shalom Israel. First and foremost, we give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honor to the apostles, and else great millstone for teachings his true peace and blessings. The Holy Rizal Yahweh is the name of the unfriendly Jew. By Hashem is the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the begotten Son. Back in the lesson. And as you see what's in the title, we're going to be going to this woman that was attacked by a snow leopard, as we're going to read throughout this article. And I'm not sure if I'm able to get the video, but I'll try to play some of it. And I also got a couple of scriptures that came into mind to go into. So it says, not feline good. I guess they're trying to make a joke, but the chilling photo shows tourist selfie with snow leopard seconds before being brutally mauled and left covered in blood. And one of the first scriptures that came to mind was, teeth of wild beasts. Because the Lord has many forms of judgment which he uses, and these animals are one of them. And this is that selfie she took. Also another one going to, tempt, not the Lord. Tempting the Lord, going up to this wild beast, and surprise, surprise, you got mauled. I guess it's showing the video right here, but I'll play a little bit of it.
打个120，有人打了。哦，过了保时沟，下山过保时沟。打电话了吗？有人打了。
有人被咬了。我操！
全血。
捂住！
拿下。
捂住！
还是那个。
上来，它好凶啊！还在那里呢。
Right, there you go. As we look more into it, so a smiling selfie shows the moment before a skier was mauled by a snow leopard and left with blood pouring from her face. The tourist spotted the dangerous predator while skiing off piste, however you say that, and rushed over to get a cute snap with the wild beast. The woman is going to snap moment for the vicious mauling. I guess it's the image of that moment which you've seen in the video. Not really a bit more into it. Seconds later, the big cat pounced and left the one with serious injuries. Harrowing footage shows the leopard calmly sitting next to its motionless victim, just moments after the brutal attack. The tourist was on her way back to the hotel in the resort town of Koktoke in the Xinjiang. A lot of word read Uyghur. I'm not going to try to pronounce these autonomous region in China when she spotted the rare cat in a wooded area nearby. A group of passerby rocked up moments later to get a closer look at the beautiful but deadly animal. So I thought I'd make a quick lesson and go into this right here. But let's get into the scriptures. Further expound these points. So Hebrews 10:31 says, "It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power." The fear of Yahweh B'Shem Shai is important. And you see many people today are walking without that fear. So many of you are going to learn the hard way, through death, by pain, as you in the scriptures. I want to say as a second chapter. Everybody just get that. Oh, 2 9, okay. 2 9 and 12. The same must know it after death by pain. You'll learn the hard way. And what seems to be a quick hit, just a few scriptures. This is Matthew 4:7-9. And it says, Yahweh Shai said to him, "It is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power." That's why when you see people go bungee jumping, skydiving, and surprise, their equipment malfunctions. They come crashing down to the ground. The parachute doesn't pull. You see various cases like that. People want to get adrenaline rush, climbing, buildings, And like I mentioned, going skydiving, even off, cliffs. It's not, super high, but they'll have a parachute and midway through they'll pull the parachute, but most of the time, either it doesn't pull, it tangles up, they hit the ground. And I see right here going up to a wild beast, taking a selfie, going to show you have no fear whatsoever. But you also get another scripture going to how the Lord's been taking well care of his elect, especially in these last days. Because you get another scripture how the beast of the field shall be at peace with thee. So it'll be no surprise if you see a brother right on top of a bear in these last days. Because you see within these movies, just getting these points that come to mind, where a person will be running away from troops or a pursuer, whatever the case may be, run to the woods, and all of a sudden an animal will attack the pursuer, the person that's chasing the person running away. So that could also be another way the Lord's going to defend and protect his elect in these last days, putting the spirit upon these animals to go out and attack our adversary. But that's the script that came to mind dealing with. Let's actually get that beast of the field. Let's see. All right, it's Job 5:23. And it says, "For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beast of the field shall be at peace with thee." Because you also hear in the scripture how the elect are going to be on the move. You should be as a pilgrim upon the earth, if you're paraphrasing. So these bears, lions, tigers, and bears, they are going to be at peace, with the elect. And also maybe these other newly created beasts, as you get in the scriptures in Wisdom of Solomon. Beast newly created. We get that real quick. A lot of scriptures come to mind. Beast newly created. Things that you thought was only, fiction. That would be seen in movies, cartoons, and TV shows. This can be a reality. Because the Lord is ultimately hiding away, these creatures. This is why you have, barely 5% of the ocean has been explored. And ultimately, this devil knows, something's down there. Because very soon you're also going to have Leviathan come out in these last days and wreak havoc. But just going to the point right here, Wisdom Psalm 11:18, or unknown wild beast full of rage, newly created, bringing out either a fiery vapor or filthy scent of scattered smoke. And what type of creature you see today is able to emit fire from their mouth? It says scents of scattered smoke or shooting out horrible sparkles out of their eyes. And also going to that filthy sense. You have people that go in the woods and they'll smell a pungent, nasty smell. And that's really to ward you off. Whatever creature that may be. But let's continue on. This is Matthew 4:7-9. Going back to that point. And Yahushua said to him, "It is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power." And really, that's the point right there. There's Ecclesiastes, or Sirach 12:13 says, "Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent?" And, these snake charmers will, have the flute or whatever type of instrument, and you're trying to woo, the snake. And surprise, the snake ends up biting them. So just, adding on to the point we just, showed within the article in that photo, taking a selfie next to a wild beast, a leopard, in the snow, probably hungry, and you could have been his meal. So read on top more time, Ecclesiastes 12:13, "Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast?" Hey, right on the dot. Right on the dot. The scripture's always on point, man. And hey, what does she so happen to do? Come nigh a wild beast. And really, the Lord put the spirit on them to attack her. Ecclesiastes 39:20-31 is when further read, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. So that's why you see when people go into these, shark, I don't want to say shark tanks, but in these cages, surrounded by a bunch of sharks, in the ocean. And you'll see in cases where you have these sharks, ramming itself into the cage, trying to get the person inside. These animals are also sick and tired of you devils also. You heathens. You also have many cases of elephants trampling people, which that was a case, I believe, I want to say in Iran. I forgot the exact location that was, but that was another case. But continue on to wishing their fury lance or strokes in time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So doing what they were commanded to do. Whether it be people, animals, because you have situations where you have people where you commit a crime or do something and they'll be asked why they did it, and most of the time you'll see them say a voice told them to do it. It was real stuff. Verse 29. A lot of spirits actually behind that. Now verse 29, fire and hell and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. So once going to many forms of judgment which the Lord uses. Verse 30, teeth of wild beasts, which is the main point. And scorpions, serpents, and sword punishing the wicked for destruction. Verse 31, they shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be radiant upon earth when he is. When his time has come, they shall not transgress his word, so as to be accomplished as the Lord sent out to do. Once in verse 30, teeth of wild beasts. Really, the previous scripture we read in Ecclesiastes 12:13, hit the nail on the head. It says, who will pity a child that has been with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? You're asking for it. You're tempting the Lord. So don't be surprised, Pikachu face. Shocked when it doesn't go your way. As they brought up previous points, dealing with skydivers, bungee jumpers. Oh, surprising, the cord was snapping. For example, like Final Destination. You see a bunch of wild, deaths, judgments in that movie. But that's the type of stuff you see happening in real life. Matter of fact, you had a situation where you had a woman, went to a theater to watch Final Destination, and what happened is the ceiling, either fell in front of them or on. I forget the exact situation, the intricacies of it, but that ended up happening. So the Lord is to be feared, not to be played with. Or when shut it down with Deuteronomy 32:39, it says, see that I, and I'm he, and this is God with me, I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, neither is there anything that can deliver out of my hand. So he jumps by the way of the Lord. And just further also to that point, it says, I wound and I heal. And you saw within this article we read, she was severely injured, bleeding from her face. So what are the judgments from Yahweh Bashim Shai? And that's the point right there. Just something quick and to the point. Actually, I saw it yesterday, and came across it again. Spirit hit me, to dive into it. The Lord's will is to the point. It was edifying. I do close out. Give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Kakadash and Shalom. See you next one, Lord's will.